Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to make meat pie. I am not teaching you how to make the sauce, just how to prepare meat pie. Subsequently, I'm going to teach you how to make meat pie sauce separately. So you can see I have my flour and my margarine. I'm using salted margarine. So I have 3 kg of flour and I have 1.5 kilograms of margarine. So when I put it, I sieve it into a bowl and I start putting it together, incorporating the margarine and flour together to have a breadcrumbs kind of look. When you are mix it together, you keep mixing it until the feel it will look as if it's a breadcrumbs that is crushed together. Keep mixing it. Let the margarine incorporate very well into the flour. You keep mixing, mix it very well. Make sure you rub it off from your hands. Keep mixing it until you have the desired feel and look of what you are looking for. Keep mixing it, and you make sure that your flour, if your flour is 1 kilograms, that's 1000 grams, your margarine is going to be 500 grams. So let's assume you have 500 grams of flour, your margarine is going to be 250 grams. So your flour is always more than your margarine. So that's for you to have a professional look when the thing is ready. So this is how you keep mixing it until you have to mix it very well. Don't just pour the margarine and the flour and mix within a second and say you are okay. No, after mixing it, take out everything from your hand, then add your water. I'm using about 3 cups of water, but I'm not going to add the water at the same time. I add the water gradually. I mix with my 2 hands. Make sure you can't mix the batter for meat pie dough. You can't mix it once. You can't add the water once. You keep mixing it gradually. Keep mixing it gradually. Add the water bit by bit. You add the butter bit by bit because you don't want to have, we're not going to have too watery dough. Your dough has to be firm. You are not making donuts, you are not making it very light. It has to be firm. It has to be something that you can feel. You can throw it up like a small ball, and it will bounce in your hands. So you keep adding. If the water is not enough, you add a little more water, but have your water at the side. If you are using 2 cups of water, if you are using half cup of water, it depends on the amount of dough you are trying to make. So after you keep folding it, mold it together with your 2 hands. And before you start, don't forget to always wash your hands, because as a baker and as a cook, remember that your hands are your first tool. You have to remember that your hands are your first tool. So I've finished that. The next thing is I am cutting it out in my desired shape. You can decide to cut your dough 50 grams. You can decide to cut it 100 grams, but what I have here is 100 grams. So subsequently, I'm going to teach you how to use a manual scale, so that if you cut it out, then you put it on the scale if you are not really sure. But because I've done this over the years, so I know my 100 grams and I know when I have 50 grams. So any size of meat pie that you want, even if you want a very small meat pie that you can give to a 2-year-old infant, it's fine. But this is the size I'm using. I'm using 100-gram size. So I keep cutting it out my desired shape. I can decide to even cut for 200 grams. I can decide to cut for 75 grams. Anyhow I want it, that's how I'm going to cut it. I keep cutting everything until my dough is finished. So I cut it out. I keep cutting it and cutting it until I get everything I need. That's the step. You can see how I have cut everything out. After this stage, I'll move to the next stage. So this how So this is it. You can see how I piled it up. You can see the size. As I told you, your dough must look very fine and smooth. You don't have to have, if your butter, whatever you are using, if you're using butter, if you're using margarine, if it does not rhyme, If you don't get the right measurement, it will never be like this. Your dough will never be. It's either your dough will be looking white, or your dough will be looking too stretchy, or your dough will be looking rough. But if you get the right measurement of your flour and your margarine and the water, incorporate everything together, this is how your dough will come out. It's going to come out like this, something that you can throw, you throw it up and it bounces back. It's going to be fluffy and not too sticky, and it's not going to be too hard. It's just going to be in the right, having the right texture. You can see how I'm bouncing it. So I have the right, everything I used in this to achieve this dough, I used it in the right proportion. So I still have other things I can add to meat pie dough, but that will be in subsequent a video. But this is what I'm doing here now. After that, I rolled it. I rolled my dough. After rolling my dough, I add in my sauce, my meat pie sauce, and I molded. This is my meat pie molder. I keep putting the sauce repeatedly and I mold. I'm using a binder. I'm using egg to bind. You can decide to use just egg white to bind. You can decide to use your fake in your kitchen to give it the shape, to give it the, after binding it, you use your fake to give it a shape. This shape you can see here. Whatever you have, you can use it. You can improvise everything that you need. After that, I have put it in my pan. You grease your pan. I greased my pan and I am coating it with egg. Some people like to use just egg white to coat, but I use both the egg white and yolk. This is how I get my brown look. So this is what I'm doing here. I am dressing it up, coating it. You can see you can greasing it with my egg. This is what I'm doing here. I make sure that the egg goes round the meat pie. Everything goes. You can see how I'm doing a large amount of meat pie here. So I'm done. This is my. You make sure you preheat your oven. Your oven needs to be preheated before you start baking. Now I've put in my meat pie. So I'm going to leave it here for 45 minutes to 1 hour. Once I put it on, I close back my oven and wait for 45 minutes. This is what I have. You can see how golden, you can see how beautiful this meat pie looks. So you have to try this. This is one of the best recipe you can have. Your meat pie, if your meat pie doesn't come out like this, then you have gotten it wrong. You can see how good. Now listen, there's something I'm showing you here. This is cracks. If you have the right proportion of your margarine and water and your flour, your meat pie comes out with cracks. That cracks means that the proportion is right. If your meat pie comes out smooth without cracks, you have gotten it wrong. It's either the flour is too much and the margarine is little, or your water you did not do the right thing. Don't forget. So there are so many ways that we can make meat pie. I have so many recipes to teach you on how to make meat pie. You can make meat pie for just 5 people. You can make for 100 people. You can make for 1,000 people. You can make it for anything, for any occasion, for your get together, for your picnics, anything you're doing. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share this video. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you and stay tuned.